Hello everybody, Rusty Blackwood here, and I welcome you once again to my loft on this very last day of May 2023. It is a very warm day out today, and as you can hear in the background, my air that's on up here in the loft. So if you hear kind of like a rushing sound at times, that's what you're hearing. And too warm up here to have it off. And so bear with me if you find it kind of a little on the annoying side, but I will put up with the annoyance in return for the coolness. And so I would come by and do another video. It's been a while since I have done one. I took my very last video down, the one that was a little on the theatrical side. And after I had watched it a couple of times, I decided that it wasn't exactly what I had hoped to achieve, and it didn't have a lot of views, and so I think maybe a lot of people misunderstood what I was trying to accomplish with it, and so I'll leave that try to another time, and maybe try again down the road somewhere. And so it's time to do another video to replace that one. And I hope all of my American viewers and readers had a really great Memorial Day weekend just passed, and that you spent it, thinking about why you have Memorial Day in the first place, and however you celebrate your Memorial Day, and I hope you had a very, very good one. We had our very first long weekend of the year, the weekend prior to your Memorial Day weekend. It is called the Victoria Day weekend, and it is in celebration of Queen Victoria's birthday, and it has just always remained, and it is what is considered the first long weekend of the coming summer season, and mine was very laid back, and I didn't do much. I just, worked around in my gardens out back, and just enjoyed the time to myself, and the weather was nice, and I usually on the weekends go to my eldest son Jamie's, especially on Sunday, but they weren't feeling very well. So I ended up, I didn't go over there like I usually do, and this, excuse me, as always, and this past weekend was a wonderful weekend for me. One of my very best friends she goes back a very long way. We met in 1979. So we've got a very, very long history together. My dear friend Dana, and if you're watching this, sweetie, thank you so much. I had such a great time, and I can't wait to spend another weekend with you. She came down on Saturday, and I had taken her down to the local Shoppers, to the cosmetician there, that I had arranged with to have our makeup done for us, and professionally done for us. And I had been down to see the cosmetician the day before, just to go over what maybe we would hope to have done, and she had asked me what I had hoped to have, and I said, well, I'd like red carpet if possible. But I will leave that up to Dana as to what she wants. And this was in a late birthday gift for her. Her birthday is in early May, and of course I didn't get to see her, and so this was a late birthday present for her, and it was a surprise because I didn't tell her what I had planned for that afternoon. And so she was a little late getting down. Her GPS, um, as far as I was concerned, took her way out of the way from where I am located, took her beyond where she needed to be, so she had to come back to get to St. Catharines. And so, of course, that took up some time, and so by the time she got here, and I had lunch already made for her and waiting, and we had our lunch, we had some wine and a quick catch up, and then I sprung it on her what I had planned for the afternoon, and being she was going to be late, like I had been in touch with her in transit, and that's how I knew that her GPS had taken her way out of the way, and because I had called her, I was beginning to wonder, where she was and how she was getting on, and so when I found this out, then I called the cosmetician to tell her that we were going to be late, and if need be, she would just need to do Dana's makeup for her, and if there was time, then she could do mine, but I wanted Dana to have hers done for her. And so when we got down there, the cosmetician Sandy, I introduced Dana to her and her to Dana, and of course Sandy had said that about my request for red carpet. Dana, and which would have meant false eyelashes and the whole 9 yards, and Dana didn't want to have that, and so it was fine with me because it was whatever she wanted, and I just thought, when I had said red carpet, I just thought that she might get a real kick out of having her makeup done, like we were going to be walking the red carpet that night, and but she just wanted, a nice, casual, professional makeup done. So that's what Sandy did for her, and Dana was very pleased, and there was enough time at the after she got finished with Dana. Excuse me, sneeze coming. Oh. Let's hope that's the only one. Sometimes there's more than one that comes. So we'll just wait and see. I'm sure many of you find my videos very amusing, if anything else. Like the silly woman, she knows she's got allergies, and she knows she's going to sneeze, and she knows she's going to cough. So why on earth is she doing a video? Well, the more you get to know me, the more you will realize that I do as I decide, and nothing stops me from what I plan to do, if at all possible. And so that is that. So we will see how we get along now. And as I say, I didn't take a Benadryl. I will when I'm finished this. So my allergies really aren't too awfully bad today, not as bad as they were on the weekend. I feel sorry for poor Dana because my allergies were so bad. My eyes were running, I was sneezing. It was difficult to do my makeup because of what was happening with me. And so, I finally ended up, Dana had some Benadryl with her that wasn't as strong as Benadryl that I have. And so I took hers, and it was much better, and I wasn't, falling on my knees and trying to catch a nap whenever possible, or nodding off in the middle of a conversation or something like that. And so so that was that, and we had a really great Saturday after we got through with at with the cosmetician. Then I took her over to so she could be introduced and meet my two youngest great grandsons, and see Carson again, whom she hasn't seen in quite a few years, and meet Carson's husband Garrett, and while we were there, Jamie and Corrine, they were feeling quite a bit better, so they came out and they saw Dana for a few minutes, and so I went over to Carson and Garrett's patio and sat and had a visit there, and so we were there for maybe a half an hour, just a little bit more than that, and then we went to dinner at down here. It's called the Feathery Pub. It is a British pub, and with British pub food, and which is really, really nice. It's a nice place to go. It's quiet. You don't have to scream across the table to have a conversation and to hear each other, which is great, because so many places is like that, where it is so loud, the music is so loud, it's so busy, and there's so many people, and you just can't hear. And I think with the Feathery, that, like, I always refer to it as the Feather, it's the decor of it is great, because it's all plush carpeting on the floor. There are areas where you can walk where it's like a covering over the carpet, and they have fabrics on the walls, and it's great for acoustic effect, because it absorbs the sound. So there can be a lot of people in there, but the sound isn't echoing and ricocheting off the walls, whereas it's being absorbed by the fabric, and that's there. And I wish a lot of places would take a page out of their book and do that, because it just makes it so much easier to sit and talk and hear each other without having to holler. I mean, you can hear the waitress without having to, reach over and, what I'm having to say, talk right and scream in my ear, sort of, so that I can hear what you're having to say or what you're asking. And so that was great, and then we just came back and sat on my patio out back. It was so nice. That's where we had our lunch, and had some more wine and talked, and it was so nice. My youngest son Jason, who shares the house here with me, had a fire going in the back, and had all the beautiful lights on back there, and I have a huge umbrella over the patio table that is lit from the inside of it, and just casts a beautiful illumination down over the table, and it's just very, very soft and elegant and calming, and so we sat there and then talked for a couple of hours there, and we were tired. She was tired after her long trip, and so we went to bed, and then got up Sunday morning, and we had coffee and Danish on the patio and biscotti, and then we made plans to go to Niagara on the Lake for brunch, which we did. Dana loves Niagara on the Lake, which is only about 15 minutes to the east of me here. It doesn't take long to get there, and we went down the lake shore that follows the lake, and because that is, to me, the most scenic route to go to Niagara on the Lake. And then we walked around, and we went to the George Bernard Shaw's wine bar for lunch, and Dana had a wine flight, which is they were different red wines of Niagara, and would be like an ounce, maybe an ounce and a half of 4 different red wines the area here, and altogether would probably make a large glass of red wine. And but it gave her a chance to taste some of the four of the different flavors, the different varieties. And I wasn't in the mood for wine yet, because this was, what was this? Maybe we had walked around for a while, so maybe it was 11:30, 10 to 12 by the time we were seated on the patio. And so I just had coffee, and I had this gorgeous quiche. Oh, it was so good. And Dana had a turkey club, and very, very good. And then we walked around for a few more minutes after we finished our leisurely lunch, and then she was getting ready to head back for home, so she brought me home and stayed for a short bit of time, and then she was on the road to home, and she had a leisurely drive home and got there fine, and heard from her around 7 that night, and she got home fine, and got things ready for her work day the next day. And of course I'm retired, except for my writing. I mean, I don't have to go out of my house to work anymore like I once did. So it was nice for me, knowing that I didn't have to rush to work in the morning, where of course Dana did. And so overall, just a wonderful afternoon. A wonderful weekend all around. And so this coming weekend, I am going to be appearing at the Ridgeway bookshop in downtown Ridgeway, Lakeshide Books Art, from 9 in the morning till noon. And I'm going to be having, well, all of my novels with me, but I'm featuring, of course, the Autumn series and part of the launch for Return to Autumn 2. So if anybody watching this, if you're in the Niagara area, especially the Fort Erie area, Crystal Beach, that area down there, do come to Ridgeway and meet me and have a chat with me and discuss my books or discuss whatever you want to discuss, and I would be more than pleased to welcome you there. And so I'm looking forward to that. The weather, the weather so far, the long-range forecast calls for a nice day, not overly hot, which is great because I've got to sit out front. And if it turned out to be inclement weather or something, well then of course you do it inside. But the authors so far, she's doing this, she's had 2 authors appear so far for her summer reading series that goes from middle May until the end of June. And there's been 2 local authors ahead of me. These are for all local authors in the Niagara area. And there's been 2 before me. I'm this coming Saturday, and then there is 2 or 3 more that are slated to appear in June. And so so this is, I'm looking forward to this. This is kind of like a meet and greet, and reading if someone so chooses. I will read if someone wishes to hear a selection out of one of my novels, and just in general, just discussing my work. And of course, where Ridgeway is not far from Fort Erie, and of course the Fort Erie Raceway, and which hosts Thoroughbred Racing and Standardbred Racing, which is the horse pulling the cart behind. And in fact, my first husband, Louis, was a driver. He drove the sulkies, and or the Standardbred, they refer to them as sulky horses, and he was a professional driver, and he loved it. You know, I was always a little bit nervous because, you know, he's riding behind a Standardbred horse, which is, you know, 1,000 pounds, and he's right there behind their rump, and he's driving. You know, he's got the reins in his hands, and all these carts are, you know, they're going as fast. The horses either trot or let me see. There's the trot, and there's the canter. And they don't break their stride. They don't gallop like thoroughbreds. They're either trotting or they're cantering, one of the two. And it seems to me I have got that wrong. But I will leave it at that. If someone wishes to correct me, please do so down below. Comment and tell me. And my love is thoroughbred racing. So I'm not. I know a little bit about standard, as you can tell, a little bit. But my favorite is thoroughbred jockeys and racing and steeplechasing and show jumping and dressage and the whole 9 yards of English discipline. And I enjoy Western discipline. I like watching barrel racing, and I probably would very much enjoy the Calgary Stampede. I don't know, I've never been, but it maybe someday. But my first love is the English discipline, and all that entails. And of course, the autumn series revolves around thoroughbred racing, steeplechasing, and show jumping. And so, and of course, where Ridgeway is located, so close to Fort Erie, there are a lot of horse people, and a lot of people that love horses, whether they're involved with them or not in respect of racing, but they love horses. And so I look forward to meeting all these ones that will come out. When my books first went to Lakeshore Books and Art, there was a few immediately sold, Perils of Autumn, and when first it was Perils of Autumn that was in, and then when Return to Autumn Part 1 came out, I took a few copies down and they sold, and now that Part 2 is now published and out, I will be taking, there's none of them in the bookshop right now, but I will be taking copies of them with me. And so I am really looking forward to this coming Saturday. It's going to make a very early morning for me because we have to travel. My son Jason is taking me and carrying the weight of the books and stuff for me. And so it's going to make, as I say, for a very early morning because St. Catharines is a fair distance from Ridgeway. And so, but I know it's going to be a great day. And when I come back in my next video, I'll be able to tell you all about it. And I will be posting pictures and things about it on my media sites. So do keep your eye open and watching for them. So I'm going to say bye-bye for now. I'm just past the 20-minute mark, and this is just like an update. I'm catching you all up. And so I'll be back again soon with a new video. Please enjoy the rest of your afternoon. It's 3 o'clock here in Niagara. And so whatever your plans are today, I hope you're seeing them through successfully. So God's blessings to each of you. Please like this video. Please share the video. Please comment the video. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll be back soon. Take it easy, everybody, and have a good day. Bye for now.